So the PFA Team of the Year has been announced, and Paul from the Redmen TV and Flav from the Fighting Cock are here to talk about it. Here it is in all its glory. There's a few bugbears that
it's a disgrace, James. It's a disgrace.
I think it's all right.
Yeah, you're happy with it. So as you can see, we'll go position by position, but a few more Spurs players than Liverpool players. Initial reaction to that?
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Who are Tottenham? Genuinely? Like, who are... I know, I like you, Flav, but who are your football team and what did he do?
Not a lot.
You look so happy as you said that.
No, I'm joking.
I mean, comparatively, you know, Liverpool do have... they are above Tottenham, and they're individually probably have had better performing players than Spurs have.
Yeah, I don't think it is bullshit, because I think, and we're going to get into this now, but I think there's a lot of players
because I
that
don't
have
actually on
missed out.
Social Club anymore, isn't it?
That's part of it, yeah. I'm thinking this is my chance to get back in. Let's go through it, okay? David De Gea is the first one. I mean, is anyone going to argue with that in any way, shape or form?
Can I ask a question on this? Is that... Do people just... I know, look, here's the answer, by the way. But is there a degree to which we won't even entertain conversation around it because it's so just accepted that David De Gea is the best goalkeeper?
I know what you mean, because I'm bored of commentators going, and that's why he's the best in the world. It's gone beyond it. Like, he's kind of proving it. He's definitely proved it.
Let's see if there's anyone willing to pick that up in the comments.
Yeah,
I think Nick Pope should have had a shout. He had a much more challenging job than De Gea, although the pressure's probably not quite there. It's more of a giving place to play. Burnley, you know, they expect less, but I think Nick Pope's had an incredible season and in really challenging circumstances. It's just that in these things, teams, unfashionable clubs don't get featured.
So
you've got loads of players in there, though, mate. What are you talking about?
I think that's the weird spin of like context that you can put on any position here. Like Jordan Pickford's had a good season, Butland's had a great season, but they've both played for teams that haven't done very well, so they then probably are going to get overlooked. But I think it's a given that De Gea's in there.
Yep.
We were talking before we started here. Fullbacks, so certainly right back. Kyle Walker, I get it. It's fine.
Same arguments, though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think there's positions on the pitch, and we'll talk about the left back in a minute. But I think there's certain positions you nailed on. You're always going to put some of these names in because it's just accepted.
Right. This is where I get annoyed. Vertonghen, probably the best centre back in the league for me. But then Otamendi, he hasn't defended all season. He hasn't had to defend. Whereas people like Tarkowski. Any of the Burnley guys, I think Duncan, Duffy, obviously, Duffy's given away a few own goals this season as well, so it probably puts him out of it. But for me, Otamendi should not be in that team.
He's had a good season.
Are
we writing him off?
He has had a good season.
They haven't been defending.
And let's be honest.
They're defending really well. They're really hard to score against.
In the opposition's half. In the opposition's half.
No,
I don't think. There's no way he should be in that team.
I think it's a reach to say he's the best defender in the league. And we should stress, and we haven't stressed, that this is the players voting from it. So they see things very different from us.
Very good at kicking balls. I haven't got a fucking clue when it comes to picking teams. Nicolás Otamendi is terrible. He is terrible, by the way. He is. Look, he has. Look, I can't take away from the fact that he's had a good season. No, he's not. He's not terrible. I'm terrible. You know, he's had a very good season. Man City have had an excellent season. They've got a great defensive record this year. I agree with what you're saying, James. I don't think they've had too much. They've been so front foot. They haven't had much. When they have had to do the defending stuff, he was dreadful. I've seen him fall on his arse for 3 goals in the last 3 weeks. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've seen him put on his arse time and time again. He'll be nowhere near that team next season because I don't think he'll be anywhere near the Man City.
These were voted in January, so it's before the complete annihilation of Man City by Liverpool.
There are good grounds for a few other people. Having looked around at the stats and bits and pieces like that, I imagine you've got a horse in this race.
Yeah, Andy Robertson, I think, is the best left back in the Premier League at the moment. I get the Marcus Alonso shout, I do. Same argument with Kyle Walker. Name a fullback. I'm amazed Azpilicueta's not been thrown in just because everyone goes, I need a player to go in there. Azpilicueta. Look, he scores goals, doesn't he? And,
6 goals this year.
And that's the eye-catching stuff. That's the stuff that you remember. You don't think about assists. And to be fair, on the Andy Robertson side, on the Virgil van Dijk side, you know, I could even make a stretch for the Liverpool goalkeeper. There's a few Liverpool players there. Sadio Mane.
You can't go.
Sadio Mane. Second most clean sheets in the league, by the way. The thing for Liverpool, but the thing is, Liverpool have come good in the back half of the season. And if we're talking about the voting's getting done, even if it only happened 2 months ago.
And yeah, Van Dijk only arrived in January.
Exactly. So I think there's a degree to which I think Liverpool players deserve to be in it. Now, if you had a team of the season, which we'll probably do on Social Club at the back end of the season, I think there'll be more shouts for Liverpool players. But I get it. I'm bitter about it.
Well, there definitely will be. It's legacy. He gets in. He's been in there twice now, I think, and he has been incredible. He does feature because he scores goals and he gets involved. He's so involved using Conte's system that he's crucial to the way he plays that he's given that platform to be able to perform, and he's kind of striking in the way he plays. He's a massive unit.
Yeah, and that's a reason to put him in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, although Andrew Robinson has been massively impressed with hugely since the second half of the season when Van Dijk's come in. His energy up and down the wing, his distribution's fantastic, and it's a good shout. I think the more discerning football fan might look at him and think, yeah, he deserves a nod. But these are players, and how intelligent are they?
This is Flav, who've been calling him Robinson all day, by the way.
Robinson, sorry.
Yeah. People know Flav's not great with names. It's fine, but that's okay.
Mate, you should see my dad. He's incredible.
You got his name right. Well done.
The only thing I think the wide issue with this, James, is that I don't think you can argue with any of the other 6 names really in there.
Do you know
what I mean is I think they all deserve to be in the team. They don't deserve to be in a 4-3-3. You know what I mean? They don't deserve to. This is not a functional side we've got here. And that's where David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, all day long. Absolutely. Mo Salah and Harry Kane, all day long. The Eriksen and Agüero shouts, I've got no problem with them being in a team of the year because they've both had really good seasons. But would you not have a Fernandinho in that midfield to make it a midfield? Would you not put a Sadio Mane or a whomever or a Raheem Sterling or a Leroy Sané in the team?
I think that's a good point because I think that's a shame when you look at these teams, naturally they go for all the attacking players. Because when I looked at the tackles, so 129 tackles indeed. The next best is 106, Idrissa Gueye. So he's had a great season. He's also been sent off twice and gone 6 bookings. But players in the mid-table, Dale Stephens had a really good season for Brighton as well. There are players that miss out on all of this again because of the context of the teams that have got so much money and are the big teams and therefore get put forward. A couple that have got to be devastated to not be in his team. One in particular, has got to be Sane, who's one of the 6 nominees for the big award, and he's not even made it into the team. Why has Sane or Sterling who's got 17 goals, Eriksen 10, I think. Why is Eriksen ahead of those 2?
Because of the.
Or why should he be?
Oh, why should he be? I'm not sure he should. To be honest, he's in with a shout, and like Paul says, you don't balk at the fact that he's there. But ultimately, this is overall the opinion of professional footballers en masse, because it is a quantitative way of doing it, which is a good indicator of the truth. En masse, this is the team that's got in. So en masse, professional footballers think that Eriksen is the best, one of the best 3 midfielders in the league at the the
Did he score a good goal in December?
Well, yeah,
he's been integral, isn't he?
And also, you think players, a couple of players, they come up against Eriksen, they think, okay, he destroyed me that day. I'm definitely going to put him in because they remember it. Just on, for argument's sake, I think Eriksen has had his best season at Tottenham, and he's been, overall very good for Spurs. His distribution's improved massively. He scored 12 goals. There's arguments for them all. And ultimately, I'm happy that he's there. It's good for Spurs and all that, but I wouldn't have been outraged if Sane was or Mane or any of the others got in, because they've all had incredible seasons.
Has Harry Kane voted for Christian Eriksen?
You can't vote for your own players.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we couldn't even offer that up in return.
No, get it. The final one I wanted to pick on a little. I think these 2 are incredible.
De Bruyne, Silva, you can't argue at all.
And that's because stats-wise, he scored more goals than I think he has done in previous seasons. But I don't think, the big numbers. I don't think he's got that in comparison. But I think he's just such a class act that he goes in and should go in. The only other one I want to touch on is Agüero. His goal to game ratio is brilliant. Yeah. 21 goals in 25 games, Premier League games, which is brilliant. But I can't believe I'm about to say this. Is that enough? The reason I say that is because he gets a hell of a lot of chances. I mean, so do the other two as well, but the other two have scored more goals. And if I'm going to fight for the little man again, I can't believe I'm going to say this either. I just saw this. Glenn Murray's had 50 shots this season, so not many chances. Harry Kane, and he scored 12 goals. Harry Kane's scored, was he on 30, is he, Flav? Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
169 shots.
Well, not in the Premier League, but...
So these guys get a lot more opportunity. Salah, 38% of his team's goals in the Premier League. Done. That's fine.
Yeah.
Kane, probably for the amount of goals, fine. But Agüero, is there someone else who
you want Glenn Murray in there?
No, I'm not sure. Well, George, Jamie Vardy's only had, I think he's had 60 odd shots, and he's scored 17 goals this year. So again, I just think other players get forgotten.
Yeah, but for the same reason we discussed, who the fuck's going to pick Glenn Murray? Honestly, like...
That's fine.
I
hate Glenn Murray.
No, but like, put that to one side. Totally agreed.
I did.
Totally agreed. You know, like, you can't argue. You can look in the stats, and this is the thing, the footballers don't do that, do they? They don't care enough to do that. Name me 11
guys,
players. Exactly. We'll do that. We'll put that level of research in. You know, I did ask the question about whether he was in the rest of the Premier League 11 the other week because of the goal return to what he's doing. I think he's put in a great shift this season. But you're not going to do the same reason you're not going to put him in your ultimate team when you can have Sergio Agüero in there.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. I think
names
that's
matter.
One final name I kind of want to talk about is Firmino. Again, maybe not the same amount of goals, but in terms of overall contribution, I saw a stat the other day, was it like 60 tackles or something he's made? Or like his overall play in terms of getting the ball back as well, creating goals.
I think he's had more tackles than Mustafi, I think it was. I think Bleacher Report put that out. Really? So totally relevant. Great graphic, very shareable though. Good on you. Strong social game, Bleacher.
He should be. He should be. Yeah, definitely in consideration. If you want a team that plays well, Firmino is definitely there. He does so much stuff that's unfanciful and unattractive, but so crucial to a successful football team.
Largely with his missus on Instagram, to be fair. He there's a lot of tongue. Going back to what you were saying, if you wanted a team that worked, I've made this case, like Harry Kane, you, on pure name and pure goal return, Harry Kane and Mo Salah are in the same team. Yeah, absolutely. Mo Salah doesn't get the goals he gets if you put without Roberto Firmino in that team.
Yeah,
so I think if you wanted a team that worked as a proper team on the pitch, you'd have to sacrifice Harry Kane. It wouldn't be sacrificing Sergio Agüero or whatever out of the team. And on a pure on paper thing, I get why people haven't put Firmino in. People are only just starting to cotton on how good he is. It's not been that long since people were saying, you know, he's not a natural goal scorer. He's not a 20 goal a season centre forward. Well, he's got 25 in all comps now.
Can I just say one final point? Of all of the team of the seasons that you'll see, the PFA is the least valuable and least worth talking about. So thanks for saying that at the end. Thanks for sticking. Yeah. So, but and I'll give you my reasons. These are professional footballers who don't care, and they go, oh, Harry Kane, Mo Salah. They're filling them out, and this is across the board, right?
Why do you do this?
I know I'm doing it because actually, what a more interesting and probably more educational way would be like the Football Writers Player of the Year, that kind of stuff, because they're more educated and thoughtful pieces and more thoughtfully put together.
Or in the comments below.
Oh, nice.
Your 11. Even better than the Football Writers because you know what you're talking about.
And that can feed into the One for the Weekend podcast. If you stick them in there, we'll talk about the Ball Street's Audience's Player of the Season.
Nice, I like that. Final question of that team: who's your Player of the Season?
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let us know your Player of the Season in the comments below. Let us know your Team of the Season in the comments below. Where have the players themselves got it wrong? Let us know. Check out the Redmen TV. Check out the Fighting Cock. Check out James Lawrence Allcott as well. It's my channel. You know about that?
Don't have to do that.
Should we get on with what I might do because it's free, advertising. Anyway, subscribe to Ball Street most importantly, and we'll see you soon.